post about, I think it was supposed to be about economics and petrochemicals and these kind of things, and somehow has turned into a huge debate around immigration in the country and just gone far more politically than what he should have done. We're also going to talk about Thomas Tuchel and try to bring it back to football. We'll talk about Roy Keane's comments on Benjamin Šeško and actual should he be starting the next game given his performances in recent games. But a lot to go through. Sam is alongside me. I'm going to ask you how you are, Sam, before we get into this mess, what it is.
Yeah, not too bad. It's been this is why we can't have nice things at United, isn't it? Like, it's all going nicely along. We're doing all right, and then something has to happen, doesn't it? Just to sort of fuck it up.
The one thing I want to say before we do dive into this is there's not going to be no kind of pile on. It's not going to be any kind of agendas. It's just going to be straight up mine and Sam's opinion on the situation, and we're definitely going to have a conversation about it because I think this interview going off last night instantly, as soon as you saw some of the quotes from it, you knew it was just going to be flammable, if you want to call it that. You knew it was going to get reactions. And I think it does raise some questions, but the way he's raised them is the point that's going to kind of hurt the argument. So I want to bring up some of the points from this interview, Sam. Some points that maybe people will agree with, potentially, but most points, to be honest, when you look at the whole interview, that people will disagree with. So there was a couple of things kind of on like public services being under pressure, population growth, all these things we hear from the cabinet usually anyway, but the fact that politicians like to avoid unpopular decisions, short-term pain, long-term gain, but then he was kind of using United as a comparison for that, which I'm not entirely sure is the best example to kind of do. But the whole debate around economic inactivity is a conversation to be had, but is the way he's brought it about, right, which is not in the best light, I suppose. What's your opinion?
Are we just talking about the unpopularity thing for now, not the immigration thing?
We'll get into that immigration thing, don't worry.
Yeah, like he has made some unpopular decisions. Were some of them necessary? Maybe. Were some of them unnecessary? Absolutely. I think the ticket pricing and the exclusion of concessions and kids, I don't think that was necessary. I really don't. Like, I don't see how that saves you a bunch of money to do whatever it is you want to do with the club. Firing people who are working like minimum wage jobs in the canteen and stuff like that. I don't see like how does that affect things? Like, it really does a thing. Did some of the higher ups and the scouting and all that sort of stuff, was that a bit bloated? Did that need cutting down? Possibly, like from what I've read. Obviously, I don't like to see people lose their jobs, but maybe that's a thing. And people on high wages normally can find another role quite easily, more so than people who want minimum wage stuff. So I get the popularity decisions that he's made. He's not going to be able to please everybody all the time. I get that, but some of the decisions I think he's made that have made him unpopular, he didn't need to make, or could have made a different one. So I think a lot of it is self-inflicted. So I don't really have sympathy for him in that point.
Yeah, there's a very thin line between either strong leadership or corporate coldness in it, and it feels like a lot more people are leaning towards corporate coldness. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn with this because I myself never want to see someone lose the job. Right? It's just we're in this kind of climate ourselves where we don't have that luxury to lean on £1 billion or a wealthy amounts in the bank. But I think when you look at it from a streamlining point of view and you do a comparison directly to other clubs, long term, it probably is better for the club if they did that, speaking purely financial terms. But when there's a human element involved, people struggle to kind of see past that. So I kind of get both sides a little bit. I think the whole point about unemployment was interesting because I think, listen, there are a lot of people unemployed. I won't solely base it down to all immigrants. And trust me, I worked in the DWP, and I know for a fact it is not all immigrants.
No, absolutely.
It's a blend of both. There's plenty of people.
It's people who live here, which is white, black, like wherever you're from. It's basically the same mix-up of what's in the country. It's the same. What is it? It will be on benefits or what have you. It's the same thing.
So I know both sides. I know there are people milking the system who are foreigners. I also know people are milking the system from the UK, and quite a lot of them as well. So again, it's all about balance, and I get people have opinions and a way of going about things, but I think it's fair to say, both sides. I know people personally myself who are milking the system, and I've done all the life. So it's not really fair to just blame.
I've also been in the position, as I'm sure you have, where I've had to rely on the benefit system in order to, when I was out of work, like 99% of the time, not my fault. Like companies made cuts, or COVID happened and people got rid of jobs and stuff. So there was no choice. And I, for one, I'm glad that benefit system is there to help people, especially like in my position, in your position. I think 99% of people who do use the system are using it for full intents and purposes to help themselves get out of whatever poverty or situation they're in. Other people using the system to their own advantage, absolutely, but you're never going to have 100% honesty in these sort of systems. There's always going to be somebody who takes advantage, and I'd rather have it help majority of people with that 1% being dickheads about it than not have it at all.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I see it.
Now, when we get to the stronger points, Sam, the main line really that has stuck is that immigrants are colonizing this country, basically, which does kind of cross into that right-wing rhetoric, whichever way you look at it. That kind of language, which is ironic, really, because, I mean, the UK, England, literally colonized everywhere.
Yes.
Like, the full world, nearly.
We owned 3/4 of the globe at one point.
Three-quarters of the globe. That kind of language, he must have known, Sam, that's going to get him in trouble, surely.
I don't think he cares. Like, I really don't think he cares.
Then why apologise then?
Because he's got backlash from it and it's going to hurt his profits. So that's why he's apologized.
Yeah, can I, just whilst I said that, can I read out his apology?
Yeah, go.
He says, I'm sorry that my choice of language has offended some people in the UK and Europe and caused concern. But it's important to raise the issue of controlled and well-managed immigration that supports economic growth. My comments were made while answering questions about UK policy at the European Industry Summit in Antwerp, where I was discussing the importance of economic growth, job skills, and manufacturing in the UK. My intention was to stress that the governments must manage migration alongside investment in skills, industry, and jobs so that long-term prosperity is shared by everyone. It is critical that we maintain an open debate on the challenges facing the UK. But it's not just that, Sam. It's the people. So the players at the club, a lot of them, immigrants, right? The staff that he hires at the club, a lot of immigrants. The company that he probably has people working for him that are immigrants. Like
the guy he's headed to be CEO, Omar Barada, immigrant, a guy who his parents came from Morocco, moved to Paris, he was born in Paris, he moved to Spain, learned Catalan, and then moved to the UK. So he is the journey of an immigrant working his way up. That's the guy who's in charge of Manchester United right now, footballing wise. He named his company Trawlers after the Eric Cantona quote, who, again, immigrant and came from a family, I think, I can't remember, I want to say Algerian, I want to say.
I think you're right.
Moved to France. And we know Eric Cantona, very pro Palestine and very outspoken politically. He named his company after that. Also, some of the figures he got completely wrong. So he mentioned 58 million people, and it's gone up to 70
jumped
million.
By 12 million, he said, then since 2020.
However, since 2020, it was 66 million, and right now it's 69 million. So it's jumped by 2 million. So he's got that wrong for a start. So if this is what these right-wing idiots do, they take a figure and then they inflate it to make it look more shocking than it is, and it's just not true.
So, to be honest, I think that's kind of the case all over politics.
Yes, 100%.
People use certain data and things to fuel their agendas.
People need to be called out on it because it's just wrong.
Yeah, of course. Whilst you're on the date, I don't know if you was going to mention. Was you going to go on?
Go.
Whilst you're going through some statistics. So at the minute, it shows approximately 21% of staff in the NHS England, around 325,000 people, are reported non-British nationality. A figure that rises to 30% for nurses and 36% for doctors. Yep. Overseas born staff are crucial to the hospital sector, with figures indicating that nearly 1 in 4 hospital workers were born outside of the UK.
Yep.
So if you think that the NHS is strained,
it will collapse.
Imagine it. Cleaners, doctors, nurses, it'd be fucked. It'd be absolutely fucked. This never seems to get thrown into the argument when people. I like immigrants are just used as a scapegoat for everything.
Any right wing, if you look through history, any right wing political organization, even far right, if you look at Nazism and that kind of stuff, they will always pick a scapegoat, which is normally a non-national or a non-part normal thing. So if you look at Nazis, they pick the Jewish population.
Yeah.
If you look at the sort of genocides in Rwanda, it was Tutsi versus Tutu.
Yeah.
Like they'll always pick someone just to scapegoat, like you said. And in the UK, it normally comes down. Back in the day, it was Irish immigrants coming to London and stuff. They were scapegoated. In the early 60s, it was the West Indies and Caribbean people coming to the country. Operation Windfall, a lot of sort of Windrush, a lot of scandal around that. Later on, it became when we joined the EU and Eastern European immigrants, Polish and Hungarian stuff. Nowadays, it's the Muslim immigrants, Pakistan, India, that kind of stuff. So there's always a scapegoat. There's always somebody labeled who's a problem or the reason that it's that famous meme, isn't it? Where there's a rich guy sat in between an immigrant and a white British guy, and he's got a cookie and he's got a cookie and he's got a massive pile of cookies that he's trying to take your cookie.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. The rich are trying to go, these guys are the problem. Ignore me with all the money, not paying tax and not doing anything to contribute to this nation. He's the problem. So this is a guy who's moved from the UK to Monaco to not pay tax, to not contribute to the country, to then have a say on immigration in a country that he doesn't live in, doesn't pay tax on, and wants to say politically. Like, if this isn't hypocrisy of the highest standard, then I don't know what fucking is, honestly. Yeah. Like, I have not seen such bullshit from a guy in my life. Like, honestly, it pissed me off. And I'm trying not to get onto a rant. I really not.
No.
But it affected me personally as well. Like, Chivy on our channel, he's an immigrant. He came to this country and he works a job and he works hard. He supported United his entire life. Why is he less important than anybody else in this country? Like, he's not. Like, he's a part of this country. He's adopted British. He's adopted Mancunian, whatever you want to call it. My girlfriend's family are immigrants. They came to this country. They built a business. They worked hard. They came here legally and worked here. She was born here. Why is she less important than anybody else who was born here? Like, it's such... I hate it. It's so divisive and it's so... just trying to segregate people when we should be coming together. Like, I really hate it. I really hate this type of language. It really pisses me off.
Especially when it's a club called Manchester United. I mean, we have one of the biggest global fan bases from all different areas and backgrounds and religions. Like, quite literally one of the biggest. And I think also as well, when he's comparing running the country to running Man United, it is just completely different. It's not even the same. It can't be used as a comparison. And also, it's not as if he's run United very well, like a lot of people would say. A lot of people would argue the fact that it's not gone the way we thought it had. And yeah, we've had decent results in the past couple of games, but before that, it's been absolutely awful. So
I also don't think this is a guy who's got great judgment politically, because he's endorsed Nigel Farage, he's called out Keir Starmer, but he also endorses the Glazers.
Yeah.
So he's not very good politically, is he? Like, he's not really understanding of like who to back.
To be honest, I don't like any of them names that you just mentioned. I don't like Keir Starmer, I don't like Nigel Farage, and I don't like the Glazers. But any of them.
Besides the point, like he's called out these people. Keir Starmer's inherited a system which was absolutely destroyed by the Tories under their rule and absolutely ruined, like completely just fucked beyond belief, especially with COVID and stuff. So if he's got issues with migration, if he's got issues with the economy and stuff like that, he needs to look at the party he voted for, because they're the ones who caused it. It's ridiculous at this point. Honestly, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of rich white billionaires telling us what to do who don't contribute anything to society.
To cover up their own problems.
Yeah, tired of it.
It feels like, for sure. Andy Burnham, the mayor of Manchester, has come out as well. He says these comments go against everything Manchester United stand for a place where people of all races, faiths, and have come together over centuries to build our city and our institutions, including Manchester United. Calling for curbs on immigration is one thing. Portraying those who come here as hostile, invading forces, another. It's inaccurate, insulting, inflammatory, and should be withdrawn. Footballers who have arrived from all over the world to play in Greater Manchester have changed the life of our city region, as have many of the working in Manchester NHS and other essential services and industry. And this is the bit which I quite liked about this kind of comment, saying, we appreciate their contribution as a city region famous for the warmth of our welcome. If any criticism is needed, it should be directed towards those who have offered little contribution to our life here and have instead spent years siphoning wealth out of one of the proudest institutions. And obviously that's got to be about the Glazers, right? I'd imagine.
100%.
Yeah, thoughts on that from Andy Burnham, Sam?
Spot on. Absolutely spot on. Yeah, Glazers have contributed nothing to Manchester or Manchester United, and all they've done is take, which again, another bunch of rich white billionaires just taking and not giving anything to society, not contributing. What a shock. Who would have thought it?
Yeah. For me, I'll get to my opinion. I'll read out a couple of comments. T2 saying leave inside the really egregious. I can't read that.
Egregious and jingoistic.
They are two big words for me. T2, I don't know what they mean, but fair play to you, mate, for having that grammar. He seems to imply a recent success on the pitch was part of the plan. We're on our third manager in less than 2 years. Yeah. Steph saying Tuchel signs England extension before Forest and Spurs approach him. We'll talk about Thomas Tuchel in a moment. And Sam, so Jim Ratcliffe voted for Starmer in the last election, allegedly. That's the irony.
I don't think he did. I think he voted
Again,
Tory. He's always voted Tory. He voted for Brexit as well. So I don't. Why would he vote for Labour?
And do you know who was one of the biggest campaigners for Brexit as well? Nigel Farage. Yeah. And then as soon as it all fucked up, like whenever he gets asked about that, it's
nothing to do with him.
Yeah, nothing to do. It's immigration. It's immigration. It's like, come on, man.
Same with Boris. Boris was like, yeah, if we get Brexit, we can that extra 500 million could go into the NHS. What happened to that? Where did that go? Yeah. Didn't go into the NHS, did it?
Yeah. Listen, I think I agree. System does feel stretched at times. Now, there's numerous different reasons for that, and you can spend a million hours discussing it and why that's happening and why the infrastructure isn't working. I disagree with how immigrants are being framed and almost scapegoated for absolutely everything. I think that's utter bollocks, but it's just an easy line to use for right-wing parties. Yeah. And I think you can support immigration, but also want better control. I think Australia do it pretty well on that kind of point system. If you're contributing to the country, in my opinion, then like, you know what I mean? It's a lot better than just having a surgeon who's dedicated his life coming over here and you know, an important cardiologist or whatever it is, as opposed to who someone actually know who's sat on the couch all his life and drained the system. Like, what are we doing here? You know, what are we doing?
People will exploit anything they can, regardless of your race. Like, if you have got that mindset of I don't want to contribute, I don't want to do anything, they will do that, whether you're white, black, Asian, whatever it is. That if that's your mindset, that's just the way it is. Whereas it's the same with the other thing. If you've got a mindset of I want to achieve something, I want to make something of myself, like, I applaud it. You want to come to a country and you want to contribute and you want to do something with your life, fantastic. You want to escape persecution and war-torn and things, poverty from the country you're from. Yeah, like, why shouldn't we welcome people with open arms? It's fucking terrible, man. Honestly, I don't like, in the way the world's going, especially with Donald Trump and all that sort of stuff. It just adds to the misery that is going on right now.
But the message will follow the power in it. So because Donald Trump is the main figurehead now, one of the most powerful people in the world, his beliefs then run through a set of people who want to gain similar power, and then you start seeing that message kind of spread everywhere. And I think these sticky bits with the debate and, you know, the boat stuff and certain individuals who are coming over who have caused problems in the country before, they're then going to be branded as everyone who comes over to the country destroys the country and does this, and it's simply not the case.
This war is not. It shouldn't be about race. It should be about class. It's people at the top hoarding all the wealth and then telling us that the people who are coming on boats are the people who are coming to this country with nothing, that they're the problem, they're the reason you don't have any money, or that power companies are charging you up the arse for things and everything costs more. It's their fault. No, it's the people who own all the wealth and own the money. It's their problem. It's their fault.
If that's what you need to understand. Came together, like, say the billionaires that the UK have, right? I'm not sure how many there is, but I'm pretty sure if they came together and actually paid the tax that it was supposed to and contributed to the country, it'd be in a lot better state than what it is at the minute. Because, like 100%. You said, they are holding all the wealth. So
same in America. Like, you see the whole Jeffrey Epstein situation going on. Why is nothing getting done about it? Oh, let's think, because all the most rich and powerful people are a part of it. And if they go under, everything goes under. Yeah. It's the same thing going on here. They ain't going to implicate these rich people to make them pay something, because there's going to be such a backlash, and they're so afraid of these people taking their business elsewhere, taking their money elsewhere, that they won't do anything about it.
If we try to get back into football in Matt, Sam, one of the things I'm most disappointed with is the timing of this. Because
that's what I said at the top of the show. It's like, we can't have nice things, can we?
I don't want him to say it anyway in general in an interview, but the timing, I mean, we've just started getting back on positive tracks and getting that good feeling around the club. You don't need to do an interview like this, because now we've not got a game for 13 days.
This is all going to be the focus now, isn't it?
Everyone's going to be talking about this. Everyone, the media, papers, everyone's going to, it's just something you don't fucking need. And now he's had to come out and apologise. Now the FA apparently are looking into it. It can even disgruntle certain relationships within the club with the ownership. You know, there's probably players that are thinking, what are you talking about? That's what I'm most annoyed with. Like, you just don't fucking, he didn't need to say that. He really, if he feels like that, that's his opinion. Cool. Like, don't say it to Sky News where it's going to get blew up everywhere. It's just,
it's United. Like, you should know better than to say anything when it comes to Manchester United. Keep your statements neutral. Keep your statements short. Don't give the media anything to run with, because if you do, it's just going to be open season on you. And that's what he's done. And you'd think with a guy who owns a massive company and has been around the block for a while, he would know better. But he clearly doesn't, because, stupid. Really, really stupid to open his mouth.
Yeah, we put a poll up at the start of the show saying, did you agree with Ratcliffe's comments? 18% said yes and 82% said no. Obviously, keep getting your opinions in and your comments, whether you're watching this live or later on. And like I said, we'll try and get back into some form of football, because there is stuff going on around the likes of Thomas Tuchel and Benjamin Sesko. So on Thomas Tuchel, Sam, set to sign a new contract with England until 2028. Rules him out of the United job, which I think is interesting. He was obviously one of the strong candidates. Why do you think they've gone so early, even before the tournament's kicked off?
Maybe because they can see a bunch of clubs have let go their managers. Obviously, Spurs, Thomas Frank's gone.
Mad that. Sean Dyche last night, like, what the fuck? Timing.
I don't know. I don't think he would have took the Forest job, if I'm honest.
No, but that Marinakis is just fucking cuckoo, innit? He's off his head, man. Honestly.
He's definitely mental. But yeah, United possibly looking for a new manager. Liverpool might end up looking for a new manager. Chelsea, God knows, they might be looking for a new manager. So maybe they were just like, let's sign him up now and let's get him under contract so we can stop any noise or stop any speculation heading into this World Cup. He's staying to the Euros, and they can just sort of like deal with it. And obviously he was very happy to do that. So otherwise he wouldn't have signed it.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the work that he's doing. I think, in my opinion, I think he's going to win something big with England. And maybe they're seeing that on the horizon and trying to get the deal done now rather than wait until the tournament's finished. C2 saying never wanted Tuchel anyway, he's an immigrant. I obviously, I was a huge fan, so I'm a little bit gutted because I do think he's a top manager. But like you said, the manager market this summer, you don't know what's going to happen with Michael Carrick either. We might not even need a manager by the end of the season. They might end up sticking with him. So, interesting. Tuchel out of it, but there's still, I mean, probably 8-10 managers who's going to be available this summer.
Like
probably the biggest market
Enrique, Nagelsmann, Pochettino, Thomas Frank's now available. Roberto De Zerbi's now available. Yeah. So, there's a bunch of people to choose from for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. On to Benjamin Sesko. I saved this till last because, weirdly enough, this is one of the things that annoy me the most, and I'm getting a bit annoyed with it.
Roy Keane and Gary Neville having stupid shit to say. I'm in shock. Absolute shock.
To be fair to Neville, Neville's isn't as bad as Roy Keane's, but Gary Neville said on Benjamin Sesko, and there has been if you look at his analysis of Sesko over the past few weeks and months, it's been very, very weird and bizarre.
He doesn't want to praise him, does he?
No. I don't get it. It's weird, but he said there's confusion for me in the sense that sometimes his performances look like he looks very scruffy when balls get played into him, but the 2 goals he scored against Fulham last night and the one against West Ham, they're serious goals. That goal last night is a serious one. And then Roy Keane, after hearing this praise for him, says, sorry, But is that what he's supposed to do, if you know what I mean? I'm tired of you saying that's he's supposed to do something and you score a goal on everyone, and then made the comparison of Ryanair basically saying that, oh, if they're usually late and then they turn up on time, everyone claps and is happy for it, which is such a harsh kind of... I don't think I've ever heard him praise United once.
No.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but has he ever come out and said one good thing about the team?
No.
It's like he's almost still trying to...
It's like he's still... Yeah. It's like Fergie's still there and he's still hating him because he fell out with Fergie.
Weird.
Like he's just...
Weird behaviour. And even if you look at the data, Sam, Sesko scored 0.49 non-penalty goals per night in the Premier League this season. The only players with a better rate are Hugo Ekitike and Erling Haaland. So from a pure statistical standpoint, minutes played, goals scored.
And he scored the most in 2026 as well. Yeah. Thank you, Mushi. Appreciate you there. Like, if you could fuck off, thank you. Yeah, I think him and Thiago at Brentford, I think they're the top scorers in 2026. So he's outscored Haaland, he's outscored Ekitike in 2026. Like,
and he's not starting games.
What more does he have to do? Like, he's scoring goals, he's playing well, he's near the top. It's his first season in the Premier League. I don't understand what more Roy Keane expects from him. Like, are we supposed to... So for striker score goals, we're supposed to just go, well, that's his job. And then if he doesn't score goals, we criticize him. So at what point do we go, do we enjoy it? Do we praise? Like, when do we do that? Does he have to, like, score 40 goals in a season before we go, actually?
I even think then, though, he will find something to pick at. Like, it's just someone who's never, ever happy. And some people say, oh, well, that's what made him such a good captain, setting the standards and never being happy. Yeah. He's a pundit on a show now. He's not the captain in the club anymore. He's a pundit on a show, and his opinion carries weight. I'm sure Sesko, the type of person that he is, but it won't affect him anyway, because everything you hear about the lad in training and his preparation is like top standard. So I have no doubt that he'll be a top player anyway. But I just feel like maybe he's off a little. If he's on a good patch of form, give him a little bit of boost of confidence. Yeah. I like the look of the kid. He's still got a lot to learn. But he's starting to play now. He's starting to get his goals, which is good. What is wrong with saying that?
Like, his finish for the goal the other night was phenomenal. Like, what
world-class
finish. Top finish. The finish for the Fulham goal, fantastic. Swivel turn and absolutely smashed it into the net. Scored 2 against Burnley. Like, I don't know what he's looking at and criticizing. Like, he's not played badly at any point, and he scored some important goals. I don't understand what he's picking at that he doesn't. That's not great. I really don't. I don't get it.
The one thing I will say, there has been times in the game where he has looked a little bit scruffy, and that I agree with. Like, his first touch at times has been a little bit off, but then in the same breath, on that same podcast, they was talking about. They started speaking about Wirtz and Ekitike, and it was like, oh, well, I think actually next season will be the season for him. I think obviously the first season he needs to climatize. Well, why is it not the same for Sesko then?
Yeah. Why is he not getting up? Why is
he's not even playing as many minutes? Like, he's probably played half the minutes that Ekitike's played for Liverpool.
Also cost what? Half of what Wirtz cost?
Like, Wirtz was twice 115, was it? 120, something like that.
It's like he even cost like the same amount as Wirtz. Why does Wirtz get a pass for the season, but Sesko doesn't?
And
it's his first season in the league as well.
Wirtz is in the same boat, whereas he wasn't performing really at the start of the season, and now has just hit like a vein of form. I doubt you'll see, like, Steven Gerrard was on comms last night when he played Sunderland at their ground, and when he was talking about Wirtz, he was saying the boy looks good, he's getting there, it's going to take time to adapt, these kind of things. And Gerrard was a captain and a leader.
Yep.
And I don't want to praise Liverpool players.
He's Mr. Liverpool. Yeah. Like, literally Mr. Liverpool.
That is how you push. Like, he's one of your own. Like, have a bit of, criticize him or pick out certain things in his game. But also when he's doing well, like, praise him, man. Like, I don't get this thing with Roy Keane. I really hate Roy Keane and Scholes and people like this. Miserable bastards, honestly. Miserable bastards.
I don't watch the overlap or any of that stuff anymore. It's just because every time I used to watch it, it was just like, United are already doing badly. I don't need to see a pile on from my former players that I used to love and watch playing. I don't need to see it every week. Like, make a criticism, but like, be like, this what needs to improve. But every week, even when we're doing well, to pile on us, like, it's too much, man. I just can't. I can't be bothered with it anymore. Like, I really can't.
For me, when it starts getting into that Richard Keys and Andy Gray, those old timers who You know, they don't want any women involved in the game, and they're old school. Oh, it's much better back in the 90s, and these kind of things. Like, it's very old school mentality, and I think the game's developing and adapting right now at the minute. I don't know. It seems I like a balanced opinion, I like a balanced view. I don't like someone who just goes in for the sake of it and likes to get the headlines and get the clips.
It's really weird because I think Jamie Carragher has been overly negative at times, but at the same time, he has ran it back when he's got something wrong.
Yeah,
he's gone back and gone, no, I got this wrong. So he ran it back on Lissandro, he ran it back on Casemiro. But then also on top of that, when he does do analysis, it's balanced, it's fair, and it's fucking insightful. And that's a Liverpool, I'm not going to say legend, but he is one of the most well-known Liverpool players and one of the most outspoken former Liverpool players there is. And I respect that. And he's even a little biased towards Liverpool, which I understand. Like, he's a Liverpool player.
Absolutely.
That's fine. But United players don't seem to do that. Like, they don't seem to be a little bit biased towards it at all. And they also don't provide unbiased criticism or insight or analysis or anything like that. And they also don't run their comments back when they're wrong. And it's just pile on. Well, you've got that wrong. Well, yeah, but I still don't rate. It's just they never run it back. So it's just that's the even more infuriating part of it.
Yeah, agreed. Keep getting your opinions in. Stephanie's saying Sesko has scored 6 with his feet in the Premier League and only 1 with his head. That was a consolation goal versus Brighton in the Cup. And do you know what? He's not even being serviced how he should be doing, really. No. Like, that game against West Ham, that was crying out for him to come onto the pitch, to put crosses into the box. And I'll be surprised when we play Everton if he doesn't start, because I think he does. Based on what you've seen at the minute, Sam, and Ahmad's not exactly performing the best he could. I think you should be dropping players, right, and bringing players in form.
100%. Yeah, Ahmad's been out of form. I didn't think Cunha was that great against West Ham either. I think you have to play in Bumo because I think he's the one guy who looks like he's a threat and in form. So why not throw Sesko in? He scored a couple of goals last few games when he's come on. Like, I think he's earned a start. Why not start him against Everton? I think he would do well against Tarkowski and who's the other centre back?
Well, it won't be Jake O'Brien because he's been sent off. I don't know if Branthwaite's back or not yet.
Whoever, but yeah, I think he'd do well against them. Like, that'll be a fight he's up for. So yeah, why not start him? I'd love to see that.
Yeah, get your thoughts in. Would you start Benjamin Sesko for the Everton game in 13 or 12 days' time on a Monday Night Football? I think it is. For any other bits and bobs coming out surrounding the Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I mean, the FA are looking into it now. He's apologised public and all that kind of stuff. It'll all be on our socials, on Instagram, on Twitter, and TikTok on your screen there if you want to go check us out. Again, need to update it again because the numbers are flying up so quick. They're not the actual numbers at the moment. But yeah, please do drop a follow on there for all your news, fix, transfer stuff with Jim Ratcliffe. The game coming up. Like the video, and me and Sam will catch you guys in the next one.
Before you go, Jay Motti this evening, 5:30. He will be on the channel. We'll talk all the Jim Ratcliffe stuff. We'll talk about Michael Carrick. We'll talk about the future, all that stuff. Please do come check us out at 5:30 live tonight and get your questions in for Jay as well. If you've got any questions for Jay, please do get those in the comments. So yeah, see you.